go. Thanks for coming through. Give people time to come on in here. Can you hear me okay? Let me make sure my do not disturb is on. There we go. Hi. This seems really pink. I'm going to put some more. Stop clicking. Okay. So how are you guys this morning? Did you watch Love Island yet? You should have. Because we're going to be reviewing it right now today. Now, I don't know. I'm not feeling a lot of stuff right now today. Right now, so far now. I did my meditation, but I don't know. I feel a little out of sorts. Not really liking these glasses. Let's do my green ones because this has green and black. So we could do those. Okay. Let's see. Hi, you guys. So we're going to do Love Island. You guys, a lot has happened on Love Island. A lot. Look at this. I told you guys I was going to show you the picture of Nick's cold sore. Okay? And there it is. You see the lower, you see it? You see it right there? That is Nick's cold sore. Now, what I did notice is that the bigger the cold sore got, the less kissing everybody in the house did. To the point where Sierra was even like, you know, I miss kissing Nick. He's just giving me pecks all day. And I want, blah. Well, you're not getting no blah, 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 blah until that cold sore is gone, darling. Anyway, let's get into it. You guys, Huda crashed out. Huda crashed out? Huda crashed out. Huda crashed out, Huda. Huda crashed out, and it was epic. But we saw the writing on the wall. So did Ace. We're going to talk about it all. Let me run this intro. People are in here. Give other people. I had put this out to a lot of people. So give them a minute to get in here while we roll the intro song. You know how much I love playing my intro for you. Because I had the wonderful producer, Adam Light, created this intro for me, you guys. So smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring my bell, ring my bell. Larger curves, larger curves. Kick loose often. Okay, curvies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So we're going to be talking about none other than Love Island, episodes 10 through 14, because we left off on episode 9 yesterday, and I told you that I was going to be catching up so we could review it every day. And so that's what we're going to be doing, you guys. And now, let me put this right here like this. And so here, let's listen to some of the stuff that happened in yesterday's, let me see. So in episode 10, let's see what they say. Let's see what they say. So on Love Island, episode 10, here's a little clip. Let's listen to this. Can we hear it?
Anyone else notice that Jeremiah had do the same thing?
Let's see. Okay, so in episode 10, after the breakup, Huda and Jeremiah are very going through it, okay? And part of the reason they're going through it is because of the recoupling. Remember, America decided that Iris and Jeremiah needed to be together instead of Huda and Jeremiah, who had linked up from episode 1. So on the very first episode, the ladies got to go choose somebody, and she chose Jeremiah, who she said was her type, looked like all the others, practically looked like her baby daddy. That's her type, that's her man. So she claimed him that day, and each episode is a day. So we're on episode 15, will come out tonight. We're reviewing through 14. They got recoupled in episode 12. No, they got recoupled in episode 9. So that was like 9 days of just them together, right? So episode 10, the 10th day, now it's these two. She's crashing out because Huda and her fast ass decided to go ahead and screw Jeremiah. They're the only two that are screwed. Now, I already told you guys also that this house is queen beds or full-size beds all in a room. So all these couples sleep in beds next to each other. All of these couples. So they're in one room. So if one person's having sex, you practically all having sex because I can smell it. I can hear it. They could taste it. So we all having a big old orgy in here. Okay? And that was Huda's choice. Huda mounted Jeremiah. Okay? And she did it the night that Iris, because Iris came in and before they got coupled by America, she was already on Iris's. She was like, oh, Iris is no good. Because Iris came into the house talking about she wanted Jeremiah. So I guess her energy was very available to Jeremiah, and Huda peep game. And she was like, oh, I don't like the way that bitch moves, da-da-da-da, right? So in the meantime, Jeremiah allows himself to be mounted in the middle of the night by Huda. The next morning, he brings her breakfast, they kiss, and she says, I love you. And she's like, oops, because they had smashed. So, and just like a woman, I'm a woman, and just like a woman, emotions and sex go together. So if we're doing it, it's probably because my emotions are high enough for us. I mean, not saying that there's not one night stands, but she literally screwed him, and the next morning was like, I love you. Okay. And I feel like it was a manipulation move. I've already talked about how manipulative I think Huda is. And because she's always crying, she's always projecting, she puts hickeys all over a man's neck, and you're on an island to find love. It's the only place that it's acceptable to kiss him and then go kiss him in each other's face without somebody catching a case. I keep saying it. So you're not playing the game right if you're marking him like you're in high school, putting hickeys all over his neck. And he even mentioned it when they went over to the little pit thing where Ace's bed turned out to be. He even mentioned it. He's like, you keep putting hickeys all over me. You're marking me. And she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, see, you're a liar, but they're both liars. Okay? Let's get into it. So episode 10 was very telling. And the bombshells shake up. So the 3 new arrivals, Iris, Pepe, and Jalen, who's not pictured here because I'll tell you later. But they land mid-game, and they shifted the game because then America recoupled these people. Okay? And Ace's breakfast date with Chelley was facilitated by Tyler, and it reignited this love triangle. But I never thought that Austin really stepped up. We also call him 1K over here on Larger Curves. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, share this video, beat the heart. Let's get it going. We got a community over here, and I want to talk to the people about this because I need to know your thoughts. This is my first love season. Oh, I mean, my Love Island season. And I have never watched it, even when Ariana went over there last year, because I used to do VPR. And then Ariana got this spinoff, and I was like, another competition show. And part of the reason I don't watch these competition shows ever since Flavor of Love was because I started like, just too many bodily fluids. And it's, and I never think the shows are real. I always think the people are just out for, publicity and marketing. And I don't think that anybody is going to a house for an orgy and then you're going to come out with love. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I know some people from even this show have a long-lasting loving relationship after going through this experience. However, I feel like a lot of these people are just freaks that have an agenda to further and self-promote their own, brand. That's what I believe. Okay? And Jeremiah is proving my point. Austin is proving my point. Nick, he's not, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Nick is doing. Ace, I thought he was proving my point, but he finally made a move on Chelley because he's a slow burner. And that's fine. Like, look, me and my husband, we met like in July at a barbecue he wasn't invited to at my house. And we didn't do no smashing, no nothing. We just talked and vibed for like 5 months, and until we were exclusive. Like once he was like, I want to be with you, I was like, I want to be with you too. So then we were like, nobody else, okay, fine. So then we became together. But by the time that happened, we were like literally finishing each other's sentences. Well, I would think it, he would say it. I would go someplace, he would pop up. It was just like we were so connected, and we were totally physically, everybody could feel our like spark, and he's a Scorpio and I'm a Capricorn. Anybody who knows. But so there was an obvious spark. We could walk in a room separate and people would be like, oh, they go together. Okay, because they could feel our for each other, but we hadn't acted on it. And because I really feel like sex changes things in a relationship, and you might, like, if you do it too soon, sometimes I feel like you might tolerate a little more than you should have, because now you all in, literally all in. So, okay. So also Huda and Jeremiah, they faced the fallout of the recoupling. So as soon as everybody got recoupled, Huda immediately breaks down. Now, Huda's been crying for 9 episodes now, so I'm kind of over it. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Huda. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Huda. I try not to be too impacted by white lady tears in general, because I feel like they're a manipulation move, and it's to try to make them the victim so they can get more support in the middle of a situation that they usually fucking created. And then all of a sudden, here come the waterworks. And then everybody also noticed, even though she cries all the time, people are always comforted in this crybaby. Go home and be with your daughter if you're going to sit here and cry on national TV and not experience an experience. Anyway, I went too far. So let's get back on track. So, Huda's had a very emotional response to the reveal that America didn't want her with Jeremiah. And I was thinking that America was trying to save Jeremiah. However, after like looking at 13 and 14, I'm feeling more like what Ace and Nick was saying is what the fact is. He's a love bomber gaslighter. He's not playing the game. Everything he said to Huda to get her to feel comfortable with him, and he backtracked on. He didn't comfort her. He didn't check on her. He didn't wipe her tears. He didn't, nothing. Once America said you're out, his only concern, he said, was Charlie. And even Nick was like, I lost a lot of respect for you, man, because that shows that you love bombed her, because you didn't do nothing. You didn't even check on her. He's like, well, I was so worried about Charlie. So was Charlie sucking your dick too? That's what I want to know. Because usually you're concerned with who's sucking your dick. That's what I think. Anyway, that might have been too much at 7 o'clock, at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 7 o'clock somewhere. But yeah, I did not appreciate that. Now, there was a whole lot of online chatter about Huda's scary behavior. I want you to look at these pictures down here. So this one in gray, that is Huda in the room where they can all sleep, with the nightlight on, walking over to the bed where Ace and Jeremiah were supposed to be in the middle of the night, like a crazy person, sleep watching them in a pitch black room. And then she goes over and she's like, Taylor, they're gone. But that was crazy. Okay. And then she was eavesdropping down here on the bottom with her. And then she's squatting over here on the stairs, eavesdropping right there. And I'm just like, this is toxic AF. He's a toxic masculinity, but she's a toxic femininity. Okay? They're toxic. Okay? And for her to have said he reminds her of her usual type, she likes toxic stuff. Okay? That's what I got from it. Now, episode 11 was a AfterSun episode, and that's just kind of like an after show where they talk to the main people and stuff. And that they had on Chelley and Oleandria on there, and that was cute. And they were talking about, well, damn, America, what you guys seeing that we're not seeing in the house? That you recoupled Jeremiah and Huda. What do you guys know? So I thought that was cute. In episode 12, recoupling chaos and the home stretch. Now, the dramatic recoupling had such an effect that in the middle of the night, the producers were like, let's get these fools out of here because Huda gonna go ballistic tomorrow. And that's not gonna be a way to see if they experience each other. So at 5 o'clock in the morning, all of their phones go off in the pitch black room and they all meet outside and they're supposed to get ready for a date where only the new recoupled couples are going. And that was gonna be Alondria and Jalen, who's not pictured. And that was gonna be Pepe and Hannah and Jeremiah. So it's pretty much the people on this side, except for it was Jalen. And they go to this little cute little like sandbar island. And they have a kayak. They have massage tables. And they're doing their little thing. Like, you know, it's very Poconos, very romantic. And everybody's having so much fun. And it's just, the love, the love, the love. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Huda's pacing back and forth. Did I even put that picture? Let me see. Do I have that picture? Huda was pacing back and forth. First, she did this. Soon as the boat got back, she went and took off a sweater, put on her sunglasses, and sat in the chair like she had not a care in the world, like she had been chilling all day. But she was literally crying, going ballistic all day to anybody that would listen. And then they get back from their little trip. Where did the other picture go? Then they get back from their little trip. And Jeremy never talks to Huda, you guys. It was bad. I kind of felt sorry for Huda. Because you gave him the cat. And he didn't even look back. You know? And so, hey, AAE. Yes. Oh my gosh. The people are crazy. The people are crazy for Huda. So, where was I? So they go on their date to the island. Huda's going ballistic all day. Everybody's like, you know, this is bad. This is bad. She's bringing down the whole house. It's going to go down when they get back. And sure enough, the thing pulls up. She sits in the lounge like she doesn't care. And then she starts talking shit loud enough for him to hear and pacing back and forth. He's all kind of bitches, liars, FUs, you're not a man's. Like the typical things that CrashOuts say during breakup. Everything was fine when you had his peen in your mouth yesterday, but now that you're not his first choice. His peen is small. It didn't taste good. He doesn't know how to use it. Why do you have that thing? I think you're a girl. Like all that kind of stuff is the typical kind of stuff girls might say when they have their heart broke in the moment of pure, like just hurt, right? It does not excuse her behavior. I did not appreciate it. I'm a mother of 2 black sons, and I be warning my sons about thirsty buckets who go too fast too soon, who then want to hold you responsible for their feelings. But they rushed you, son. They rushed you, okay? You get to pick the flower you want to go to. If flowers are picking you, what the bees are going to do? You're not a Venus flytrap. You're a regular flower. So why are you capturing things? Just be pollinated. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. But I really think that this is PSA, the Jeremiah and Huda of it all, just that energy, that vibe of a thirsty, manipulative, and I feel like she's insecure because she's a single mom and she wants to just hurry up and get locked down again so she's not a single mom. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting from her. Or else why aren't you experiencing all these people? You know what I mean? And then to be hiding your motherhood, like, if you're going to be a package deal and it was going to make a difference on day 4 when you finally told Jeremy, then it was going to make a difference on day 1 when you were going to tell, when you should have told Jeremy. And just like he was like, shoulda, coulda, woulda, yeah, it ran in their relationship the whole time. Huda goes ballistic. She goes in episode 12 and listens. She tells the girls, oh, I got to go to the bathroom when they get back. She's never announced to having the potty before that the 8th housewife is shown. I call all camera flashbacks and camera footage the 8th housewife, okay? By the way. So there wasn't any 8th housewife proof about that happening, that she's ever said, oh, I got to go potty. I got to go pee. I got to go pee. She's never said that before in 10 days of kicking it with these ladies. Nobody's announced, oh, I have to go pee. So she announced that so she had a reason to go walk past where the boys were without the other girls thinking that she was going to listen. But that's the first thing I thought. And that's exactly what she did. She copped a squat on the stairs and was trying to hear. And then when she couldn't hear from there, she gets up to the side of the thing and she's listening, ear hustling. And here's Jeremiah say, I didn't want to talk to her. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. She went ballistic. Or can you go ballistic? Or we need to ask Jocelyn Hernandez's husband. Isn't his name Ballistic or some shit? Can you be Ballisticer? Is that what they're going to name their son? Ballisticer, like a junior? I don't know. Anyway, but she went Ballisticer, you guys. Yeah, now she's yelling fuck yous, throwing middle fingers, pacing back and forth, screaming louder at the top of her lungs, letting him and Iris hear everything that everybody else had to hear the whole time they were away at the sandbar enjoying their new coupling experience, because it's all about the experience. So I'm very, I'm kind of invested in the experience of this all, because this is literally the only place that is going to be socially acceptable for you to kiss 100 people via 10. Okay? So I'm just like, oh, calm down, have the experience. He's a gaslighter. You love bombed him. He love bombed you. You locked him down. He did what lockdown people do, which is get what they can. And I'm just not feeling a lot of empathy for her situation until in episode 13, when Ace and Huda had to have a talk, because she was like, well, why did you try to vote me off the thing? He's like, because hey, you guys aren't doing the experience. I feel like you guys are fake or whatever. And Jeremiah attempts to talk to her. Finally, it's been 24 hours. It's been 24 hours. And he finally tries to talk to her. And she's like, I'm not ready to talk yet. So then by the end of that day, they're having another toxic talk. And the people in the house and us as viewers are all done. Have you ever had that couple in your life, like a girlfriend who's with a toxic guy, and then they break up and make up like every other week, and then you are the one that they vent to, and then they get back together, but you still have the information from when he was an asshole? Yeah, that. So there was a lot of that going on, and I felt like Huda was very much trying to sway America and the other ladies. And Iris was able to hear all of her complaints about Jeremiah. And she was like, he lied about everything. He lied. Well, she did some lying too. Game recognized game. But it was the utter disrespect of her calling him out of his name, emasculating him, disrespecting him. Like, Nobody's son deserves to get treated like that because somebody's daughter decided to drop it low and spread it wide. I said it. I said it. Nobody's son, regardless of the amount of gas in a room, because you were in there for the gas. You were down with the gas, bitch. You were down with the gas, Huda. Until the gas didn't like your ass no more, and now it's a problem. But he's there for the experience. So you crashing out shows that you didn't read the contract, that this is about an experience of coupling, uncoupling. America gonna get to weigh in. Some bombshells are gonna drop in. And you guys need to figure it out, right? Now, I'm always saying as a married woman in a long-term relationship that marriage is hard. And when it gets hard, it's time to put in work, okay? Because it's hard work being married. It's not no easy peasy, beautiful summertime. Not all the time. It's hard work to like have these personalities with you all the time, and you're still growing into your person and they're still evolving into their person, and you guys hit some bumps and hurdles, and then there's a lot of joy too. But when it gets hard, it's time to put in the work. And the work is doing the things you said you would do to the person when things were good. So when things are good, you're like, oh, if you ever cry, I'll wipe your tears. I would never want to hurt you. I'll always protect your heart. Would never want to see you cry. You know what I mean? You're saying all of these things, but it hasn't been tested yet because you haven't had to put in any work yet because everything has been gravy because you've been locked in a house in paradise and have had to do the bare minimum because of location, right? So literally all you guys get to do is like talk, and my hair is coming down. I don't really want to mess with it right now. I better stop rolling my neck like Riley. Did you guys watch Next Gen yet? Where Charlie was doing hella macro. I'm tired. Look, it's 2025. I told y'all, we're not calling microaggressions. That shit is macro. Okay? It's macro. You got to stop making shit tiny that's big and making shit big that's tiny. Let's get the order right. If you're being a racist fuck, discriminating, bigoting kind of shit towards me on TV, and you're a white guy and you try to act like I talk like this all the time and use the word scary with me every time you mention my name, those are high-key macro aggressions, Mr. Entitled Charlie. Looks like your moniker, Charlie Sheen. You're going to be in the same boat. You better keep it together, dude. Anyway, that was a rant over there for Next Gen. Okay. Where was I? I was ranting about Huda? Charlie? Nick. Let's go to Nick. Because Nick, throughout all of this, I told you, he has this thing on his lip. Let's show it big. I'm going to show you guys big. Because it's there. And I'm like, dude, that's no bueno. Where'd it go? It was just in here. Because that's how oh, there it is. You guys, you see that thing on his lip? Do you see that? That wasn't there day one. Neither was his little thing on his face. This blemish happened after that baseball thing I told you, where they all were like running bases and everybody kissed everybody, and everybody went in with beautiful, smooth, glowing skin and came out with blemishes. Within like a day, people were popping zits everywhere, blemishes everywhere. It was just like, ah. So yeah, but he's, I guess, the most sensitive one because you see this her pod on his lip. Do you see that? I'm surprised they didn't make him go to quarantine or something. That was not there, and now it's there. You can't tell me that that's not a her pod. Look, that's disgusting. And Sierra even mentioned that Nick hasn't been kissing her the way that he usually does. He's only been giving her pecks on her cheek kind of thing. And she wants some blah, blah, blah. But I think Nick knows that that's a cold sore. And actually, I noticed that there hasn't been a lot of kissing in the house at all since this cold sore got bigger and bigger. The only people that kissed was Charlie when he left Hannah, and then Hannah and Pepe. Uh, yeah, everybody else is just pecking, just, yeah, because they see this thing on his lip. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but look, I told you guys about the PSA yesterday. You guys can get a whole lot of things from kissing and from screwing these days that you may or may not be able to get rid of. And if you're kissing one person that just kissed 5 people, then you just kissed 5 people times the amount of people each one of those people kissed. So 5 times 5, 5 times 5, 5 times 5, 5 times 5, 5 times 5. You up to 100 mouths in your mouth, and you're going to end up with freaking herpes on your lip, you guys. Herpods. PSA. Told you I would show you. Because me and my mom we were like, something's got to give. Something's got to give. I did not like Huda just walking around the house calling Jeremiah a bitch to anyone who would listen. And it's just too much. It's too much. You're 10 days in. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this chaotic. It's great TV, but it's also high-key toxicity. And do they have a shrink on site? I think they might need to start getting mental services on site for these people, because this type of crash out that Huda had for 2 days is too much. It's a lot of emotion. And you know that postpartum lasts for 5 years per child, and her daughter is just turning 5. So I don't know if Huda has some other stuff going on, allegedly. Where's my allegedly? Anyway, allegedly. What could happen is, it could be a form of like postpartum even with Huda, that she is so over emotional. I tell you, she's been crying a lot, and she's had her person the whole time, but she's cried several days. Several things have just upset her so bad that she has to resort to crying. Like I bet her 5-year-old does. I bet her 5-year-old cries, whines, makes it all about her until she gets what she wants, just like her mother. I bet she does. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that it looked like a 5-year-old tantrum. That's what I should probably say instead of bringing her daughter into it. Because I don't mean to, it's not about her daughter. It's just about the immaturity of the level of tantrum that Huda is having on a show floor, experiencing everybody. It doesn't match. And that's what Ace and Nick were saying, is that if you're on a show that lasts 6 weeks and you know bombshells are going to come in, you know new people are going to be introduced, then why are you booed up married being called mom and dad by day 3? Because you're fake. And that's where the fakes and snakes comes from, because there's $100,000 involved in this whole thing. And if you're a fake, then you're going to act like you're booed up with somebody on day 1, love bombing them, telling them everything they want to hear. And if you're a snake, then by day 12, when the first test of your love comes to fruition, you're talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. I didn't feel like it. So the snake and the fake is Jeremiah, actually, you guys. The snake and the fake is Jeremiah. Now, Pancakes. That was Chelley and Ace. Let's get to Pancakes. So Ace finally decided to make a move on Chelley. In like episode 9, it didn't go well. And then this episode, he did like a pancakes and ping pong thing with her. And he like just tries to spend time with her. And I like how they're so shy and cute together. And I really like that they're a slow burn, building a foundation of friendship. Like I said, I really believe in that. And I feel like they're experiencing the experience. She doesn't have to always be physical with Austin, who never makes a move on Chelley. Never does Austin ever make a move on Chelley. He asked her, did she want to do yoga? And then he goes and look, and she told us she don't like it. She don't like it. Because how are you crying to her about how much she likes him instead of just stepping up your game? Because so you think that whining like Huda is going to get you what you want, dude? No. Do ball stuff, okay? Do stuff that people with balls do, which is like step up to the plate, okay? Like do something to show that you care about her other than whine about, I don't really understand why you still talk to Ace and I'm just in the triangle. You're in the triangle because you didn't make it clear to her that you were going to step up and be the type of person that she needs you to be. All you want her for is therapy so you can cry on her shoulder about how inadequate you are. 1K. That's what we call Austin. Because he's sending his penis to 1,000 people. 1K. Yes. KKK Austin. I told you yesterday when I did my thing that Austin is a MAGA lover who loves tweets that say black people are lazy. And I feel like he's fetishizing Chelley and fetishizing Amaya too, because look, if black people are lazy in cyberspace, then black women are lazy on the island. And that's why he really voted for Taylor. Because they had a chance to vote for people off the island. Remember the night Charlie went home? And the only person that voted for Taylor was Austin, who loves MAGA and thinks black people are lazy. And he don't even have a reason for it, except for that his inherent bias and possible racist leaning tendencies could have been possibly allegedly the reason that out of the blue, he decides he was the only vote for Taylor. And the guys have been complaining about Huda and Jeremiah for so long. They could have had Huda off. We wouldn't even had Huda's meltdown had Austin not been led with color and trying to get Taylor off. And I feel like he was trying to get Taylor off because he couldn't get Ace off. And so at least if there's one less of them. Okay. And whatever he did or didn't like wasn't as bad as Julissa saying the inner on her podcast, which got her fired, which is why Ace was single and vulnerable. Bianca, thanks for coming. Love you. Love you too, Palaver and Shelves and Mamere and AAE. And I love all my curvy crew. Thanks for being here. So, yeah. Also, by episode 13, I got a call from the person that asked. They were like, Laundry, you should, review the show. I was like, I don't really do love shows, And they were like, you'll love it. And so I came over and I binge watched 12 episodes of my life this weekend. Me and my mom. I told you how we were calling each other. She lives an hour and a half away. And we were like, I'm at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Where are you? She's like, I'm at 3 minutes. I'll wait. Like that's how we've been watching pretty much all the episodes. And we even did it again last night. It was so funny. And, so I got up to 12. Yesterday I get a call before I had watched 13. And the person that told me I should be watching this show was like, oh, I can't watch it anymore. It got too toxic. I was like, what? I just spent 12 episodes of my life getting caught up. And now I'm a little invested because of your suggestion. And now not even you're watching. Oh, no, I can't support it. It's gone too dark. The way she talked to Jeremiah, right? And all I can say is I don't know if like being from Oakland and living like kind of an urban life, I was not high-key offended by the whole cuss out thing. I've seen it in real life. I've done it in real life. So it wasn't like that. And plus it's on TV. So I probably will. I'm going to keep watching the season. And like I said, we're going to be having a Love Island giveaway over here eventually. But I was like, the person was like, oh, well, I'll wait till after you watch 13 and then you can let me know your thoughts. But it was just too much for me. I can't support that. And so that's why when I got in here, I was like, well, as a woman with 2 black sons, I don't condone how Jeremiah was disrespected, emasculated, and called out of his name by the crash out Huda. I don't appreciate that. But it's not enough to make me stop watching. Yeah. And look, Jeremiah had it coming. He didn't check on her for 24 hours after his penis was in her. If this happens and then you get recoupled and you see she's in distress and you said you would never want to see her crying, you know, and blah, 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 whatever you said that the 8th housewife didn't let us see, that she's now calling you a liar, right? Then you're part of the problem, bro. You brought that on yourself. All it would have taken is a conversation. You're literally locked in a house with that bitch. You could have went to a photo booth, to the Adirondack chairs, to the upstairs treehouse, to the cushion lounge, to the little beach, to the speakeasy, to anywhere. And just been like, look, we can talk about this later when you're calmer. I see you're upset, anything. But he did not have the inclination or the mind on his own that should be any way that he treats a person that he just... That's nasty. Annie! I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Look, we got our sponsor in here. Annie just sponsored the channel. This live is going to be sponsored by Annie because that's our first chat. So shout out. And I was just to the part, Annie, about how... No way. No, I totally just rolled out of bed, watched the Valley, watched the after show, made this thumbnail, had a couple calls, talked to my mom, and came on this live. I haven't really done anything other than, and then I put on a little lipstick. I did wash my face. I oiled my hair. I don't know. You think so? I don't know. I feel like I'm beautiful, and I've been just trying to, like, you know, project beauty. And I'm in my where's my thing? Where's my thing? I'm in my soft girl era. And so I'm just trying to be a softer, gentler, larger. So I'm trying to exude that. You know, because I've been kind of hard on larger. Like, I love me, but sometimes I can be like, on my own self. I can crash out on me the way Huda crashed out on Jeremiah, y'all. Truth be told. Okay? So just be gentle with ourselves. You know, everything will pass. Everything's going to be fine. Okay. But I was just saying about how Huda's crash out on Jeremiah. I don't know if it's because I grew up in Oakland that I was not offended. I was offended, but not offended. You know what I mean? Like, I was offended that she had the audacity within the experience to not experience the experience and then be mad when the experience is about to happen, to the point where you're cussing him out for doing the experience. But I did also feel like he gaslit her and love bombed her to the point of, yeah, the crash out was destined to happen once she found out that nothing he said was true. He was going to let her cry. He doesn't care if she's hurting. He won't protect her. He will not comfort her. I bet he said the opposite of all of that we didn't see, that thought had her thinking that, oh, he really likes me. So I feel like they were both wrong. And I do not condone women emasculating and disrespecting men in public or in private. Hey, did you see that horrible thing on, that's a whole other live, but there was a couple on Facebook Live this weekend, the Frenchman and Obi and the Duchess or something like that. And they were on live and they had just had a baby like last month, and they were arguing on live. And she was telling a story, and I guess they were really popular on Facebook Lives. And so their following was all on there, and they were telling a story, and she was telling it, and he didn't agree with how she was telling it. And that should have been the first sign something bad is going to happen, because he comes and takes over the live talking about she's a liar. This is what happened. And she's in the background saying, no, he's lying, y'all. So then she finally gets back on the live, and she's like, he was lying about everything. And I'm going to tell you what really happened. What really happened is, remember Obi? And he said, that'll get you dead. She said, saying Obi will get me dead? He said, yep. She said, why'd I gotta do that? And she was still trying to play. But then they went back to all of her previous, like, in her social media threads, she had been begging for help. She was like, he crazy. I need to be safe. I don't know what to do. I've taken as much as I can. We have kids together. And she had been kind of semi reaching out about the level of unsafety in their relationship. And she was like, I got to be here for my kids. I don't know what to do. And so she said something about Obi. I don't know what an OB is. I was not familiar with them at all prior to this happening on live, and the video is still circulating with no blur. I'm high-key offended at that too. Yeah. So anyway, things can go left very, very fast, you guys. And if you are in a toxic relationship and it's this toxic, then things can go left like it did on that Facebook Live very fast with mentally unstable people that have access to weapons. Okay, so that was just a freaking PSA about don't get toxic. Okay, but in this case also, yay, we love a soft girl. Yes, Mamere says soft girl era. Okay, I'll support, but don't ask to hide your hard side too much. I can never hide my hard side because I'm from Oakland. I got it in my veins. So that's ready. I stay on ready with that. And me, and just like Kendrick Lamar, we will pop out and show somebody. Okay, so. Yeah, but in the meantime, yes, soft girl era. So let's see. Did we go over anything else? Sierra was kind of in the back, like just with the girls. There was no major anything that happened with Sierra and Nick. They're pretty solid. And I loved that after Charlie got voted off, that Hannah, after a good cry, which I kind of was like, when did they make that deep of a connection that you're crying so hard? Except for that she had just said that she definitely wanted to explore it with him, and then he got voted off. So I think that's what it was. But I didn't even really see a lot of their relationship bloom or nothing. Like, I kind of felt like they ended up together and made it work for the experience and vibed with each other, but I wasn't really feeling like, I wasn't feeling, I was feeling like, oh yeah, we're kind of easy, but I do get a from her and Pepe, because the first night she mounted him in the speakeasy, yeah, so they got it going on. Their energy is like that, okay? Yes. Wait just a second, you guys. You might hear my fan for a minute. Okay, so let me see what else happened. Episode 14. Let's get to last night, because episode 13 was her crashing out cussing, and then episode 14 came on last night, and I decided to just go ahead and watch it. And I installed the app, so I'll be voting on Thursday. I need to turn on my notifications though, because since I'm on the West Coast, I bet voting starts according to East Coast time, and I want to get in on that action, so I definitely need to turn on my notifications so that I can participate in the voting. And my mom's even downloading the app. This is fun over here, so we're having fun. We like doing stuff together. So episode 14 happens. Huda wakes up. She's still crashing out, you guys. Still crashing out. Still crying, boo-hoo crying, cussing. She pulled Lindsay. I don't know why I keep calling the girl Lindsay. She pulled Iris for a chat. And the guys were like, should we help? What you gonna do? You can't restrain a woman. So no, you need to let women talk. Because Pepe and Jalen were like, do we need to do nothing? Do we need to do something? No. But then they had the presence of mind to go get the other girls and be like, Huda just went and pulled Iris for a chat. We think you should go check. And they all got up and went over to the pit and was listening, where Huda was interrogating Iris about the date. And she's like, oh, we just talked, it was cute. We were on the beach. And she's like, that was my dream date. They're literally on a beach in Fiji, and her dream date is another beach in Fiji. Crying, just, oh my God. Cry me a river, bitch. I can't with her. It's just, you're on a beach. They literally had a little beach right there for you to go experience. You and him won a date to a water slide, but you needed more sand and water. I don't get it. I just don't. Okay. In episode 14, Ariana comes back after a 5-hour meltdown with Jeremiah and Huda. And he was trying to get a hug from her at the end of it. And I think that would have made her feel better. But she was already had talked herself up to a ledge, out on the ledge. And she was about to fall off the ledge that she created. Okay. So she just wanted to be mad now. And she wanted him to somehow prove his love to her within her madness. And I don't know what that grand gesture could have been, but there definitely was some of that energy. Like, I'm just going to be mad. He needs to do something and prove to me that he wants to be with me. So he finally pulls her to the side and they go and have another talk. And in the talk, Jeremiah says to Huda, I don't even like that bitch, pretty much, talking about Iris, talking about she's not his type. He doesn't want to be with her. He sleeps with his back to her, and he's not attracted to her like that. And America put them together. He said all of that in front of the 8th housewife, you guys. So I don't think that America's going to be letting him get to the end. I kind of don't think that, because for him to say that, and then at the end of the episode, after 2 days of Huda crying, he's pretty much saying we can start again if we just take it slow. I kind of feel like we did the intimacy thing too fast, basically meaning like, yeah, they did do the intimacy thing too fast. And if we take it slow and build on a friendship and like, get to know each other some more, then that could work for us. And she's like, but I can't, because we can't go backwards. And I feel like that would be going backwards because and you can't do that. And you're asking me to go backwards. And then she heard him say, well, I don't get to know me then. And I don't know. I was kind of like, Huda is too much. It was too much because she confused me, you guys, because I didn't really hear him say, I don't want to get to know you. But by the time she yelled it so many times, and I didn't feel like rewinding to have any more of her drama, because you can't figure out crazy. Okay? You can't figure out crazy. You got to let crazy be crazy. You can't really try to make sense of a lot of people's crazy sometimes, or else you by proxy may become crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I didn't rewind for it. I just went with her rendition of, he said he didn't want me to get to know him, but he wants to take it slow. Pick a lane, lady. So because of all the backlash in the house and the epic meltdown of Huda and everybody else in the house saying that this is affecting us all, we're not having fun anymore, she's bringing down the vibes, she's walking around here in her bikini, she's walking around at night, she's crashing out, crying, yelling to anybody, just ruining everybody's time. Talk about the selfish entitlement of a person like Huda. Now, I get it, you're hurt. But you literally are ruining everybody else's experience because you're so selfish that you mounted this man in an experience of, look, don't be fast, ladies. Don't be fast like that, because this is what it can get you hurt, okay? You move too fast and you can get hurt like this, okay? And Ariana comes back and they're like, uh-oh, what could it be? So this time, oh yeah, in between time, let me tell you this. In between time, Austin and Amaya, I told you last recap that, oh, I didn't even realize I put her in front of her. But Austin and Amaya have been having secret little hookups ever since Amaya came on the island, unbeknownst to anybody else. So they've just been secret link up, okay? Everybody else is like pretty open, transparent, and honest. And Amaya, who had such a problem with Ace's transparency, and then she was demanding transparency from Chelley, but herself doesn't give it and doesn't see a need to give it, is very telling of the kind of person Amaya is, okay? So she demands what she won't give, and that's very telling. But anyway, I always thought that Austin and Amaya should end up together, and I said it before, because they both have a certain level of that is noticeable. Like Austin is just like a big goofball, and Amaya is like a gnome-sized goofball. Okay? And like they're just, their whole demeanor, they're just like, they're just kind of like goofy, right? And silly like that. So they've been having lots of cute little talks, and then she's like, pick me up, and then she's like, do all this stuff. And so she was making her moves on Austin, and I'm glad she did, because I did not like that 1K with Chelley. I did not like 1K with Chelley. That's too many soul ties for Sister Girl, okay? And at the end of the episode, Ariana comes in, and in fact, her gowns are great. Her body is banging, okay? So she comes in this beautiful, like almost this color fuchsia gown, and it's like, and her stomach is cut out, and it's very form-fitting and sheer and see-through, and you could see her little cheeks walking. And then she is like, okay, we're gonna have another recoupling, but this time the women are gonna go behind a door, and you're gonna put the name of the person who can unlock your door on the door, and only the door will only open to the person who you want to open your door. So they go behind this makeshift door. We can see them from the back, and the guys can see the names on the doors, right? So they start, and they're like, who did they start with? Nick went to Sierra's door. It opened. They're a couple. Austin went to Amaya's door. It opened. They're coupled. Behind Chelley's door, she's like, when did they even freaking have a chance to hook up? Because, yeah, nobody knew. It was all in secret. Okay? And then then Pepe picked Hannah's door. It opened. They're a couple. Taylor picked Olandria's door. It opened. No, then Jalen went to Olandria's door. It did not open. That's why Jalen is not pictured, because Jalen was vulnerable, okay? Taylor went to her door. It opened. So they're a couple. And now these people are choosing to be a couple. Ace goes to Chelley's door. It opens. I was like, yay! I was so excited. Oh my gosh. I've been wanting them to get together. They have a past. I was like, he's been moving like slow. I didn't know what it was about. But now that he finally just made it known, and they're so cute and sweet together. And I don't know. I'm getting a little goosebump right now. I think they might win. But I just like them a lot. And I like how slow they took it, and how they're just, I don't know, they're very tender with each other. And she's totally soft girl, and he lets her. And I don't know. And I just feel like he knows himself enough that he knows what he wants, and that it's Chelley. And that he knows that because he was peeping game and checking how the other people move and everything. So that was like one of the top things for me last night. And then the last two doors to open were Iris and Huda. And it was Jeremiah's turn. And Jeremiah went to the door, and it opened. Now I told you, Jeremiah had gone to Huda right before this happened. The 8th housewife showed us. Jeremiah went to Huda and said, I do not like her. She is not my type. I don't even want to be with her. About Iris. And then he goes to Iris's door. It opens. They're a couple. There's nobody left for Huda's door. She's vulnerable and single. Man. Oh. So then Ariana, man. She's used to other Bravo shows because she knows how to be a messy bitch, okay? Because not only did they get to recouple according to how they wanted to, 2 days after the thing that blew the spot up for 2 days. 2 days after the recoupling that America asked for that blew the spot up for 2 days and had Huda hot crash out for 2 days. Now, Huda and Jalen were vulnerable. How do they get off the island? It wasn't because America is voting. It's because now the couples, all these new linked up couples, had to go stand behind Huda or Jalen as the person to stay on the island for the experience. And even though everybody in the house was like, she's affecting us, we don't want her here, this is too much, they also, I guess, understood that the amount of gaslighting and love bombing coming off old Jeremiah was enough to make a bitch crash out. That's just enough to have a bitch go crazy. And because of that, while we don't respect you, Jeremiah, we're not going to punish Huda for crashing out. So the people who went and stood behind Jalen was Nick, Austin, I think there were Jeremiah. I think he only, and was Pepe over there? Or was Pepe on her side? Anyway, only 4 people went and got behind Jalen. Everybody else, including Ace, went and got behind Huda so she could stay. She felt so supported and loved. And it's all because they saw the manipulation of and how he moves. And plus, right when she had to open her door and come out by herself, she told him, she's like, he just told me today, again, you guys, he's such a liar, that he doesn't like her, and then he goes and opens her door. He told me we were about to take it slow, and then he goes and opens her door. So you know who even went and stood behind Huda? Iris even went and stood behind Huda so she could stay and cause more havoc on Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 16. Because Episode 15 tonight is going to be another one of those restream things. And I'll still watch it and see what they say and everything, because it's a little interesting, and I don't know a lot about the show, and I'm learning more about the show from behind there. But yeah, so Jalen got voted off the island by his peers. Huda gets to stay, but in the forecast for next week, all the ladies are in the room talking about, if she crashes out one more time, we're not saving her. I'm done. They don't want to live like this. They're on their you're in Fiji looking for love, not for Huda's meltdowns. Okay? So the episodes revealed that Huda and Jeremiah rapidly turned from the Windsor match to mistrustful, right? And then Ace, Chelley, and Amaya trifecta is finally, there's no more triangles. There's only duos, okay? And the new duo is Chelley and Ace and Austin and Amaya. The new bombshells, Iris and Pepe, got coupled up. Jalen had to leave. It made Iris cry. And it was interesting because they were just bombshells together. And she was kind of crying like, like how Hannah had cried when Charlie had to leave. And it was kind of confusing to the people why she was crying. Even my mom was like, pause it. Now, why is she crying? And I was like, oh, because remember I told you. So all the people come in together. And the people who come on the show together, on our screens together, were quarantined together, basically, because they have to do their STD and STI tests on a regular basis. They're getting their blood drawn so that they don't come up with more herpods on the show. Okay? But I don't think they are testing for... I don't think they're testing for whatever this is on mixed lip, because it got really big and ugly for 2 days. Or maybe they did have the medicine for it, because it only lasted 2 days. And like, it was almost gone by the end of last night's episode. But they might start, they might have another kissing game as soon as it clears up all the way and the next blood test comes through. But yeah, that was gross. Let's see. What else happened? Now, social media is going crazy, okay? TikTok, everybody, we're understanding her crash out, but it's not going to be tolerated one moment longer. Iris and Jeremiah, I don't like them for a couple. Austin and Amaya, I don't really like Amaya for some reason. I think it's because how she acted with Chelley and how she's been moving all snake-like, and then nobody even knew you and Austin were like that, and now it's like that, So, yeah. So I'm going to read these comments, and then we're going to get out of here because I don't want to keep you too long. Right on, Mamira. Grand Rising. Good morning. Palaver, good morning. This is nothing. You should see the UK. Yeah, I heard that they be doing things like spitting in each other's mouth and then go make a blender drink and then have somebody else drink it because everybody in the UK wants one of these. Everybody in the UK wants one of these on their own. So they do gross stuff. Yeah. I heard about it. I haven't seen it, and I don't want to see it. I'm like, that's my weak stomach. Like, I can stand like gore and stuff, but like gross stuff, I don't like. I just don't like it. Hickeys are very gross, Mamir, and totally immature, don't you think? Like, do you think 40-year-olds and 24-year-olds should be walking around with? I don't think if you're over 20, you need a hickey because you should be matured past that. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I've thrift, and this is actually a thrifty dress. I got this for like $4 from a thrift store. I sure did, and it has little pockets, and it's a cute little sundress, and I wear it to the swimming pool where I was with my sons all day yesterday, and I didn't even get darker. Yeah, we had a great time. Huda kuda woulda. Yes. Let the messiness just naturally flow. Your frames and your oh, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, which ones? Which ones? And I had to add a little red. It was very pink when I came on. No lie. Huda is a nightmare girl to be trapped in an office or house, right? And look, allegedly, so also one thing I found on TikTok is allegedly her baby daddy has come out and said that Huda's a scrappy bitch. She likes to fight. And then somebody did a close-up of her knuckles, and they all have like these fight scars on them. Yes, so she crashes out all the time. I didn't even know Ace was on there till yesterday, right? So you follow Ace on the social media. He be teaching people how to dance in Pakistan or whatever. It's so cute. And mothers and sons and whatever. Yeah, it's cute. Shelves, what? Ace is the boys ringleader or messy Mekness. Don't want him for Shelves, but he's, well, I don't know. I kind of, Palaver, please elaborate. Why don't you want Ace for Shelves? Like, I think that Ace has displayed a self-awareness that is refreshing in such a young person, along with a level of transparency he's willing to engage in that is also very impressive for such a young person. Plus, he peeps bullshit from a mile away and is willing to call you out on it. I don't know. I kind of like it. And I like that they are slow burners, especially finding out that he's has issues with intimacy and being touched. So I kind of feel like he gets a pass on how slow he's moved with Chelley. But I would love to hear why. Hey, you guys. Yeah, he's so sweet on his lives. You got to tune in. Yeah, on Ace is so awesome. KKK Austin, 1K. That's what we call him. 1 KKK Austin. That's a good one. 1 KKK. Okay. Yes, happy Wednesday. Thanks again for the support, Annie. I love it. I love you. Mimir says, off topic. Oh, thank you. I love you. Thank you. Soft girl, soft girl. She demanded it from the black girl, but wouldn't cross Hannah, the white girl, when it came to Charlie. But she ultimately did cross Hannah, the white girl, because she was the vote to get Charlie off the house. And right after she knew that Charlie and Hannah had made up and were trying to go for it. So she did kind of ultimately end up turning on the girl too. I think she's only out for herself. For sure. Exactly. By the way, Huda's always smug AF when other girls are being in a bad place. Yep. She's always runs them. Yep. And she's like, you need a real man. You need this. You need that. Well, looks like your real man was a real asshole, man. Toxic AF. Toxic. Yes. Emotional vampire. I'm telling you, she's emotionally manipulative. Not only with her, but with her tears, the hickeys, all of that stuff shows her low emotional IQ, allegedly, in my opinion. And I don't know if like part of the show is looking for people with low emotional IQs that have a high chance of crash out and her pods. But we'll find out in episode 16 when we come back. Okay. And I review episode. I'm probably going to do 16 and 18 I mean, 16 and 17 on Friday. I'll do 2 because, yeah, I like it like that. And yeah, because everybody's doing them every day. And we just started doing them over here. I might do it tomorrow. I might not. But tonight is the restream. If there's anything interesting, I might make something about it. But yeah, you'll definitely see me in here on Friday after we do the episode 15. Okay? But thanks for coming through, you guys. You have any more comments? You don't have to. Remember, there's enough to go around, so go get some. Thanks for coming through. And I stay tuned. Make sure your bell is rung, because when I go live, you'll want to be here, especially when we start doing giveaways. And I would love it in the comments if you could tell me who your number one couple is and who, in order. Can you rank your couples? I'm going to tell you this real quick. My number one couple is these two. They're co-number ones to me. And then I like Nick and Sierra. I feel like that's an authentic connection. And then I like Pepe and Hannah. I feel like that could be cute. And then I like Austin and Amaya. And then Jeremiah and Iris are last. And whatever Bombshell comes into the house, I feel like it's not going to be fair because they've been watching Huda crash out. So will anybody really want to be Huda with Huda? Or will they just be using Huda to stay on the show? But we definitely need to get Huda off the show for us to stay engaged. This level of toxicity, look, I don't want to keep on. Part of the reason I came to Love Island is because it was supposed to be not as toxic as Housewives. But what I just watched for the episodes 13 and 14 was borderline Real Housewives of New Jersey stuff, okay? It was bad. It was very bad. And I don't watch Real Housewives of New Jersey. Yes. Por favor, get Hudo Awoots. Yes. I'm done with them all. I think Orlandria could have done better. Okay, so I liked that she knew that Jalen was on her for her looks. Now, while I feel like Taylor, with his may have a girlfriend at home self, is not stepping up, and I feel like she's settling. I need him, and also, I'm going to give it to you on that, because Taylor only thinks about stepping it up when her interest goes elsewhere. So it's kind of like a last, like, get your head turned back over here kind of thing, instead of keeping her engaged in a way where she wants her head turned that way. Something will happen, and then he'll be like, turn back to me. But he didn't do it before. Yeah. I just need all of these guys to do more ace stuff. Go have pancakes and ping pong. Go do workout sessions and yoga sessions or whatever over there with her. You know, just think outside the box. And also, that's another reason why I like Ace, because he went and told these other fools breakfast is the bare minimum. We're 2 weeks in. We've been bringing them breakfast every day. So now we got to take it up another notch, because now this is normal. Breakfast is normal. And Austin, by the way, never took Chelley breakfast. Never. Ace made his claim by taking her breakfast every day. That was his little way of showing her every day, you're on my mind, you're on my mind, you're on your mind. Austin never did nothing for Chelley except for, I don't know why you like Ace too. Yeah. Jalen did not have enough time with her. Yeah. Orlandria is scared of love. Yeah. She likes the detached courting style because she's detached. Yeah. I can get that. And also her trying, she's trying to be in her soft girl era too, you know, and, you know, as Black American women, we do have a lot of stuff to bear, and I can see how our masculine energy kicks in often. And, so allowing ourselves to be loved, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, and putting our feelings on our sleeves, and, you know, just letting you know how we feel. Hey, look, we're detached from all that stuff. 450 years of slavery, Jim Crow, Black women are strong, all of the stereotypes about us not being human and can handle insurmountable things without thought is BS. But when you've lived like that for so long, and you've had to exist like that in America for so long, that of course it's going to have an effect on our love life, on our relationships, on our family ships, on all of that stuff, because we're not who we could have been without all the pressure of all those things I just mentioned that we had to live through. So, like I said, I'm trying to get into my soft girl era now because I know that there is one I can invest in, but I didn't even really notice that I was like this hardcore bitch until realizing that there's a softer way to be. You know what I'm saying? And even now in my own life, I am very hardcore. I just stay that way. I stay fucking ready because anything can happen at any minute that I'm going to have to pull it together and be strong, you know? So I'm not faulting Alandria for existing in her detached way, because that's how you have to live in America as a black woman, is detached. Because if we let everything get us down, then we'll be Huda all day. And nobody gives a fuck. If a black woman was in that house being Huda, nobody gives a fuck. They actually probably would have reduced it to, oh, she's angry. Oh, look at that mad black lady. She wouldn't even got the opportunity of understanding on why is she crashing out, because America and the energy that is does not allow the space, the breath for a black American woman to even have a tear shed without a fake pat over here. They don't even pass tissues to us. We're not getting tissues when we cry. So why cry? Because that can make you cry too when you notice that you're the only one in the room of crying women and nobody's passing you a box of tissues, Andy Cohen. Let the white ladies cry on Salt Lake City. He's passing them a box of tissue. Where's the box of tissue, Tito? Remember Tito Jackson was like, pass me a tissue, Tito? Yeah. Garcelle cries. It takes her an hour to get a napkin from any of these bitches because she's a black woman crying in America. So you have to have a detached experience, or else that too will weigh you down in a way where nobody gives a fuck. Watch the movie Straw. I strongly suggest, in spite of Tyler Perry's current situation with the $260 million lawsuit for sexual harassment, that you still go and engage his movie Straw, currently on Netflix, okay? Because it shows you what happens when you finally attach to the feelings and the trauma of your lived experience as a black woman in America. He did a fantastic job of conveying the energy of nobody giving a fuck what you're going through. It's deep. I could start crying right now over it because it's that deep. So Alandria, she is scared of love because, for one, where does it exist? And for two, where can we get some safely? You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. She deservedly so afraid of love. You know? I don't understand. But I do get opening up to a softer side and opening up in our own way, in our own speed. And I hope that we get to see Taylor step up in a way that's believable, because I still think he only playing two sides to the middle because he allegedly has a girlfriend at home, just like Jeremiah has his girlfriend at home. That's why he was so willing to be hooked up with Huda, allegedly, in my opinion. And then KKK Austin. Can't wait to find out what Nick is hiding. What is Nick hiding? And Sierra, like, they're boring. All they do is they don't really add a lot. But you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Episode 14 did mark a turning point, and we're finally to the couples that choose each other. We're finally there, 14 episodes in. So you guys, I love you. Have a great day. I'm really out of here now, and I'll see you in the next video. Leave it in the comments, though. Who's your favorite couple? Rank them for me, okay? Peace.